CADILLAC. It's been all over the web. I can even tell you that I've seen it in a secret Facebook page where people were talking about it. And today, you're going to meet the creator right down there, NECRAMONIUM, live today on Podcast. I said that backwards, but we're going to go with it. Podcast Rock City live. What's up, everybody? Joe here from Podcast Rock City. And with me this week, Sunny Hollywood Pooty.
Uh-oh.
What's up, people? Best Thursday ever. No Joey.
Yeah, we lost our guest.
We lost our special guest.
And right there is Lee, the Goddess of Thunder. Hi.
Hello. He'll be back.
Hopefully he'll be back. So look, this gives us a minute to go ahead and talk about this. His name is Jeffrey. He contacted me yesterday and he said, hey, I want to do an interview about Kiston CADILLAC. I said, no problem. How about tomorrow night?
How about tomorrow?
We were going to do a recording anyway for Father's Day. And, he's in the Netherlands. So we lost him for a second. Hopefully we'll be able to get him back. Let's go ahead and what do you think? Let's watch the doc. Let's watch the trailer for you guys that haven't seen it yet. Let's go ahead.
Joe, I love you put Kiston CADILLAC Crater NECRAMONIUM.
What did I put? Crater. Oh, no, you want to know something? If you look at the other thing, it's spelled right. For some reason, when it spilled out, a couple of things went weird.
Yeah.
It's so strange. Hold on, I got to make sure that I do this right. Let me make sure that you guys can hear this. I'm pretty sure. Can you hear that?
Uh-huh.
Okay, good.
Our team will be fired up tonight. We will win the football game. And I'll say one more thing. Rock and roll.
It's a pretty conservative town to have something like that come.
They kind of adopted us and we've adopted them because CADILLAC loves Kiss.
I did get a few telephone calls from some of the older people and a couple of ministerial persons.
And we would say this to you, the lock will not be changed, and anytime you want to return, we'd be tickled to death to have you.
Many times people ask me, well, how were you able to convince City Fathers to let you bring this band in?
We heard about it from the coach of the team and from the school, who were tremendously proud of the fact that this team that went from worst went to first.
It was pretty somber, and the kids were they were really down and they weren't having any fun.
And what they used as their battle cry and their rallying music was KISS.
It was very, very difficult to bring that school together and mesh them together. Well, what happened with the KISS event was homecoming brought the entire school together.
KISS will be remembered in Cadillac for uniting the student body of Cadillac. We've been trying for years to do it, and you did it in one night.
34, 35 years later, they hold us in high esteem, Cadillac. This is a lifetime memory and a source of pride for us.
It's terrific. I watched it last night. It's wonderful, Jeffrey. So let's get into this. We're going to talk about the documentary right off the top here. How long did it take you to put all this together?
2 months.
2 months. And is the footage like readily available online? Is that stuff you find, or you just, as time goes by, you find something here and there, or you have to search hard?
Well, with this, pretty much both. You know, sometimes you have to look for footage, but for this, some of the interviews, you know, I can was pretty much from the Cadillac news station archive, pretty much. And of course, some is readily available, and some I have to find or ask people.
Right, and when you now, so you've done how many videos now?
I have no idea. I've been doing this in 2007, so I don't have really kept the number.
Right. Okay, so what made you, okay, so let's go back to the beginning. How did you become a KISS fan? What was your first experience?
Well, of course, I already knew them because, yeah, how can you not know, you know? If you look behind you guys, you see iconic faces, you know? Everybody knows G. Simmons, the demon face, you know? So I already knew them from, you know, for pop culture, but in 2007, I lost my job. I was bored, so I decided, you know, does everybody know Windows Movie Maker?
Yeah.
You know, it's buggy as hell and it crashed. So I just started messing around with that. You know, YouTube was just started, and pretty much, you know, I started to make videos. And one video I made was best rock bands. You know, and one video pretty much was you know, of course, KISS we need to have KISS in that compilation. So I put KISS in there, and was I still remember I actually used I Was Made to Love You from the Live 3. I pretty much started to, you know, learn more, and yeah, you know what to say, the bug gets you. And that doesn't let go.
Right, yeah.
That's really what got started.
Yeah. So you've seen them in concert?
I only seen them once. It was in 2010 when they came here.
And what tour was that?
That was Sonic Boom.
Sonic Boom. Yeah. Sonny, you got any questions?
Yeah, so you said you lose your job, you're bored. Schooling in this, or hobby, just trying to figure it out?
Well, I was already, I think, then 22, so I was no longer in school. I lost my job pretty much. That was it. And I was pretty much between jobs, you know, pretty much. So.
Right. So did you actually go to school to learn how to do this, though? Or was this just something that you just, you know, picked up as you did it?
No, I learned it myself pretty much. All basically self-taught, you know, like Ace. Nerd.
Right. Ace is big on computers. He is.
Yeah.
Is like doing this stuff. Now I can say, and then there's huge fans out there that have seen this. They've been talking about it, and I can honestly say I don't remember ever seeing the footage of them playing in Cadillac. Have you, Sonny, Lee, have you guys ever seen that before?
I can't say I have, and there was some tidbits in there I had never heard before either.
Yeah, it was really interesting. Where would you, like, did you have to really search out the Cadillac footage, or was that in the documentary, that original one that you saw?
No, that pretty much. I had. If you're an hardcore fan, you know where to find it, pretty much. Because you know a guy, pretty much. Or you go to the official source, of course, to license it.
I wonder if the whole show is somewhere.
Yeah, that's
because someone asked what the set list was. I don't know.
Well, there's one thing I found out is you know how they say that they adjusted the gig and the set list to pretty much kids.
Right.
Yeah.
And I found out by looking at the footage had, from my side at least, had no sound. And one song I noticed, you can tell pretty much the moves they do and animations. One song was Nothing to Lose. I always thought this is pretty much weird for if you know what he sings about.
Kids don't know. I didn't know what it meant.
Yeah. It was the 70s, 70s.
No idea.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
But he didn't split blood, okay?
Oh, he did not. Okay.
No.
He didn't. Yeah, I noticed that when they were showing the end of the show, he didn't have blood all over his face. So what was the most interesting thing you found out while collecting this information?
Yeah, there's a lot. I do know that I've talked with people from CADILLAC, and one thing I could tell, I almost had Peter Chris for the interview for the show as well.
Oh wow,
that was right. I had terrible timing doing this because it was right, when he announced his new album is coming and he was doing a interview. So I wanted to press him because, of course, he's getting older, so I don't want to force him into doing this. So. But there's a lot of passion for this little visit. That people don't know. There was another high school in that year where they also visited, and there's almost nothing about that visit. Nothing.
Whoa!
What?
Okay, wait, hold on. So there was another high school that they visited. Where was that at?
Well, of course, and I'm just. Quickly, I can probably bring it up in a few seconds.
I did. What was the date of this show, of the CADILLAC show?
I believe there was let's see.
It was in October. It was a Live 2 era.
October 9.
Or a Live 1 era.
Yeah.
Do they have a big party there every year or what?
Oh, I bet they do. But Joe, a coin had been looking for high schools to do stuff at. He was actively looking.
Really?
When CADILLAC called.
See, that's interesting. The I'm trying. Basically, what I'm doing right now is going through here. I'm gonna find the set list. This way we can.
So
this way
I'm gonna
take a look
let me
at
tell you something real quick. So for the folks listening, so in the Kiss Alive Forever book, Mick, and I don't know if it's Campise or Campise, I'm not sure. It's Campise. So anyway, he's interviewed in Kiss Alive Forever for this show. And he says, and I quote, "I remember Peter and Gene were at it that day, and it was fun when those two would go head to head. During the CADILLAC show, Peter got behind the drums, decided he was going to mess with Gene a little, and started playing everything double time. I thought Gene was going to kill him. Gene turned around and yelled at him, 'Get back on the count.' Peter said, 'Well, I'll show that motherfucker,' and sped up even more. The kids loved it, but afterwards, JR had to pull them apart backstage because they were at each other."
Whoa!
Wow!
This book. This is the book you're talking about
book.
right here,
Yep,
right?
yep.
We'll cover up names so I don't get in trouble.
Is there a set list in there? Is there a set
Just
list?
block it out with a little.
Yeah.
I did that.
There's so much in that book that you can you never read the same thing twice. It's really interesting. I know that you had mentioned that you have a new video. You got a project coming up that you're working on. Is it something that you could talk about?
Well, it's of course still in in for working, but of course you can't show it anything or hear anything because the copyright, you know. And it could be blocked. What I can say is June 27th.
June 27th is when it comes out.
That's all I can say.
Okay, that's fine.
That's the secret.
Fine.
There's probably some hardcore Kiss fan indeed knows it.
Okay. Yeah, that's awesome. I will tell you that. let me make sure that I go to your YouTube page real quick, because one of the things that I wanted to show people is how many cool different videos and stuff you have up. And one of the things that I watched today was here it is. I watched the End of the Road final show. It's like remastered. What did you do with that? Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. That's Metallica in Seattle. That's a good one. So when you fix things up, what is it that you, when you enhance them, what is it that you do exactly?
Well, everybody knows about AI right now, right?
Sure.
So pretty much in, I believe, at the end of 2001, I was just messing around with it, so nobody was actually still doing it. So I thought, I throw kids in Cobo Hall in 76 into the program. It was, it didn't give artifacts. You know how bad AI is, looks like it's just plastic,
Right.
RTVs do that. They bring old footage up and it looks like, melted and such. So I threw it in there and was like, oh, that looks good. It looks, instead you have this, now you have this. That's why I called my company NECRAMONIUM Media, because NECRA means actually dead, dead tissue. Mm-hmm. Modium is additive, media brings media. I bring dead media to life, pretty much is what it means.
Nice.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
That's what I don't want to boast or promote it, but pretty much I give people, give me your old Super 8 medium footage, I can bring it to life,
Yeah, absolutely. If you guys have your phones handy and you want to scan that QR code up there in the corner, it'll bring you right to the YouTube page. So when we're done today, you can check out all the videos. Is there anything that you wish you could get a hold of to see? Are there any videos that you like, man, I would really love okay, so I can tell you for me, and I know this may sound morbid, but I would love to know if there's video out there of the night Ace got electrocuted. You hear so many stories about he got electrocuted. He came, and a little bit after he came back and did the show. I want to see how real that story is. They said the crowd is chanting Ace, Ace, Ace. I'd love to see that. Is there anything that you'd like to, have your hands on to do a documentary about or remaster?
Well, I can start with one video I like to see. There is just one frame left of their doing a rehearsal, and it's the earliest days. There's one frame left. I believe it's on the 1977 or 76 rehearsal tape. And you see one frame of the guys in the loft. And, I believe they taped over it because Bill Cohen loved to tape them, so they see it. I would love to see that early footage. Like we have the 1973 Loft audio, where it is raw as hell.
Right.
I would love to have stuff like that.
Yeah. Lee, do you have any questions?
No questions, but I just a few things that I thought was cool in the documentary was that that was the first time they used confetti. Was that?
Yeah.
I had no idea. I don't know why I never thought about it, but it was like, oh, they just came up with that with the blast in the air and the confetti.
Yeah. What else did you think was cool?
And then the other thing I thought was interesting was that somebody stole that plaque
oh my God.
I wonder where that is.
I wonder where that plaque is.
Yeah. Joe has it.
I can comment on that.
Joe has it.
Oh yeah, you can?
I did some digging, and It's actually known who stole that thing.
Really?
Yes. Well, I can't name people, of course. It's hearsay.
Okay.
All I say, I hope it just shows up one day at the school. It will return.
Right, just drop it off and be done with it.
Yeah, if that had happened now, it would have been on the news, and the
Cameras
kid's face
everywhere.
cameras are everywhere. It's just one of those things. I'll tell you a couple of things that was amazing to me. Now, I know that I've seen a documentary about this, probably on ESPN, I think it was. But I will tell you that the fact that the guys, when connecting the power for this thing,
hoping for
knew there was a chance he was gonna die, is crazy.
Rubber boots,
rubber boots and rubber gloves. He said, if I run over
pick
here and
the
knock
wrong
me off,
choice, then,
I'm gonna probably die. That's
That
pretty
was
crazy.
crazy.
For those of you guys, that have not seen this, please take the time, watch it tonight. It'll be a lot of fun. You'll enjoy it. It's really great. It's
there was
one
a
of
funny
those
blurb of Ace saying something like, sometimes I feel stupid putting this makeup on, but the whole town had it.
Yeah, the whole town. Jeffrey, let's talk about some serious stuff now. The challenges of putting something like this out. Whereas, we have all seen. We know that our friend Andrew had some issues, and we know other people have. I've been messaged from people before where they have basically said, I tried to put a video out and this is what happened. So, is it one of those things where it's possible to do it legally and, you just have to know how to do it, or?
Well, I can pretty much say YouTube right now is a effing minefield because you never know what will happen. For example, I can upload a concert for, randomly. It's not owned by anybody. Deuce is playing. This concert, for example, takes place in 1977. The automatic system says, oh, that sounds a lot like Deuce from Alive. Blocked. That's pretty much how it can happen. And then, of course, you have the manual stuff that can happen from individuals who think they own stuff. Or, well, kids or pretty much have it done simple. They've put all their own stuff in the system. So if let's say I upload Kiss Symphony, if I recognize automatic blocked, I know I can use it. But of course, there's the whole fair use where I can put 30 seconds on it, people talking over it. So there's a lot of hoops you'd have to leap through.
Right. But it's doable, what you're saying.
Now, yes. 2 years ago, no.
2 years ago, no. So, this is the tough thing. We're starting to actually see more videos, where people are doing stuff like this, and it does seem strange. One of the things that I can tell you is that if we use anything on here, I'll tell you what I get. What I get is a note that says basically Universal owns the song.
Yep,
and you're allowed to use it, but you cannot monetize what you're doing. And I mean, that's fine, as long as they're not like coming after me and, hit me with the strikes or anything. So now you've been doing this for so many years, you kind of have it figured out, and that's good because I'm excited. I watched the enhanced version, probably about 30 minutes of the final Kiss show, and I was watching it right here on I have a curved screen, so everything looks really cool, and it was so high def. At one point, I felt a little dizzy. It was weird.
Wow.
It was as the camera was going by, and I bet that's what you're shooting for, reality.
Well, one thing I want to do is you're in a Kiss show. I want to show that. I want to make it that it's loud. Like Gino has said, if it's too loud, you're too old. Some people said that helped me with audio. Said, your levels are high. It's almost distorted, but yeah, of course, I worked around a bit because you learn about editing. So that's my goal. I want you to revisit the concert. Explosions going off. Of course, you have to light a candle if you want fire, but
Like immediately I was watching, and it's obviously, I think it was the pay-per-view probably, but immediately I saw Lisa Martini, and then right behind her was where I was sitting, but I came down later. I let my buddy Bruce and Lonnie sit in my seats because it was close at the beginning of the show, because I wanted them. We had all flown there together, and there they are. And I was like, son of a gun. And it looks like I could go, Bruce, what are you doing?
Oh, wow.
It's amazing. And all the little documentaries are great. Sonny, you got any more questions?
Not a question, but what I was thinking about while I was watching the video, I'm like, there's 3 entities at play. So kind of follow me here, right? So you got a football coach that's trying to motivate his team, and you got somebody's got to at least be interested in KISS. Got a bunch of kids that are obviously listening to KISS, and KISS is becoming bigger. They're not huge yet. You do need to have a comfortable football player. I played football, right? If you're juiced up 130%, you overthrow, you hit the hole too fast. Like, you got to be like at 100, 110%, which means you got to be a little loose. So that does keep into play. Then you got the second entity where a coin's actually looking for this stuff and trying to make it right and make KISS bigger and do something special. And then you've got the real pain in the ass, the actual city, that will actually allow you to do it and actually help you do it. This would never fly today. You would have everything from politics to diversity to the kids not agreeing on what the music should be, to the coach going, you're using a white band, not a diverse band. You'd have all kinds of problems. So these 3 entities coming together and making this thing special, I gotta tell you, goddamn, I'm proud to be a KISS fan when I see this kind of shit, right? Because there's not other people that can do this. And if I was Cadillac, I celebrated every goddamn year. How many cities got to do this?
They got a nice plaque too, that black granite thing.
Yeah,
right?
It's rare to see artists, do this these days. Like one of my favorite comedians is Dave Chappelle.
Yeah,
he just sometimes just show up at a club and just talking to people, have fun, not even have material.
I live 30 miles from the club, and he sometimes does it on his own campgrounds.
Yeah,
outside. You bring your own chair. He's on stage, does a show. You go home.
Yeah, it's rare because, of course, but that's also, these days, with internet, everybody will know it. There's safety, of course. You have so many nut jobs these days on the internet as well. But I think, let's go back to the beginning, what you said, of course, with the CADILLAC team, usually rock music unites, KISS Army, I think that also helps. Of course, a good team is a close team. Like the Dutch soccer team, the national team, they won the Euro Cup in 1988, and that was because they were almost brothers, close. And of course, just like in the band, people are brothers, sisters, cousins, nephews, and all that. And I think that's why music helped. They become clear. They party. Because of your party, you also become closer with each other, especially with alcohol. But of course, same interest. Everybody loves the same thing, rock music. You practice, it joins. It connects you with, like I said, they connected with the older people in the town. Because like the cheerleader woman, not the hit leads, but she said, we didn't thought old people were cool. And they suddenly see them with the band they love, Some people are like, no, I don't like that. Because you know how kids are when they get older. They don't like what the parents like. Like my parents loved Queen. I didn't like Queen in the beginning. Because my parents like Queen. When you want a teenager, you don't like what your parents like. So,
yeah. Do you like that symphonic metal stuff that's popular in your area? Within Temptation, Epica, those kind of bands.
I love some stuff, but it's not really always been. It didn't connect.
Yeah.
Like back but it was really popular in the 2000s. You know, I had a girlfriend who was into that and all that stuff. So you saw all those bands and stuff, but it was really not my thing. Like back then, I was more into Rammstein.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Rammstein is
Kiss.
Yeah. Their lead guitarist was a big Kiss fan, you know.
Yeah.
And they were in serious trouble if they had to almost smuggle that music into Germany, West and East Germany. It's the power of music.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, one of the things you said to me when we were chatting was, you know, that you have a story regarding Kiss and your love for it, and it's something that you always wanted to tell. And you said that it's very personal. You know, what when you like, be specific with that. What are you talking about?
Yes, this is probably the most personal thing I can. I have to start pretty much with. Since I was 11, I struggled with chronic depression. Not because my life is so bad. It's because, you know, some people just miss that chemical in their head. I missed that. So I've been fighting against that. In 2007, of course, I lost my job. I lost the love of my life. And I discovered Kiss. You know what they say, you know, party every day. And pretty much when I listen to Kiss, I feel better. That's the thing. I've met Gene once, and I literally told him, "You saved my life." And he was stunned by that. And to this day, I sometimes feel bad, and I just shout it out loud. And I feel better. I feel become better.
Yeah.
You know?
That's cool. Definitely get that.
Yeah, you know
that's why people love Kiss.
Yeah.
Some people say, "Oh, they can't play. They're fake." You know, all that old bullshit. How kids got beat up at school because they love Ace and the T-shirt of Kiss and all that. But especially when you're older, you know, when you're younger, it's of course, you love the makeup and such. But you're older, it's nostalgia. You loved it as a kid. It becomes your whole being, pretty much, you know.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite record?
Destroyer, 100%.
Destroyer. Yay, you and Lee.
My favorite year is also 1976 because you get coming from the rawness of a life, and into Destroyer where they became really big. Like one year they were still at the beginning of 1978 in the club, and then at the end of 1976 they were like in stadiums. You know, I don't think many bands have seen that quick of a rise actually, because some have to 12 years, of concert grinding in clubs and all that stuff. It's hard.
Absolutely. The the amount the comments are all, everybody's talking about how great this is, and the comments are great. And I know you can see them off to the side there. Here's I just want to here's one: great work. Whatever happened to the copyright boob who thinks he owns all Kiss?
The copyright police. Yeah.
The copyright police.
What was that? Oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
Starts with a goo.
Yeah. And then here's another one. The amount of time and effort that goes into what you do to bring these videos to life is mind-boggling. You have to have a great passion and love, and millions of fans are thankful.
Yep.
That's awesome.
I want to comment on that because, that's why I do it. Because let's just say I always wanted to entertain. I have no talent for guitar playing. I have I tried. There's a guitar right on my wall that I haven't played for 20 years.
Look at Sonny's guitars. He doesn't play either.
I got them all over the place.
Doesn't play a lick of it.
But I can't act at all, so I can't be on the stage. But I found a way to entertain people. It's simple. Everybody can do it on YouTube. Of course, you need to know what you're doing. That's why for people like Ryan saying that millions of fans are thankful, and I'm amazed at that because I have people acting like I'm a big star, but I'm not. I'm just a guy who makes videos. I don't see myself as a star. Stars, if you're on the streets when probably people come towards you from, hey, I know you. But you don't know me.
Yeah, they know you now.
Definitely art. Now. I mean, learning guitar is a talent. This is a different type of talent in art.
Yeah, there are all kinds of talents.
All kinds. and creativity, and it's awesome.
You guys out there, trust me when I tell you these videos are great. The Cadillac one is wonderful. I watched it, and at the end I was like, this was so good. I will tell you that I immediately was getting a text message. Jared Frank, who's on here, I think he's with us right now. He sent me a message and said, this is the definitive documentary now for Cadillac. That was his actual words. And, I can tell you that, I'm part of the Pop House group that got put together, and there was chatter amongst us. We're fans, but there was chatter amongst the fans, saying, hey, this is really good. You guys have to watch this. So it's great. It's gaining some. I don't know if they told Pop House. I'm just talking about us, the Kiss fans, But that's cool. People are seeing it, and the first person to bring it to my attention was in Italy, and they were like, "Hey, have you seen this?" And and then you messaged me, and I was like, "This is so cool," because they were just talking about this. It's one of those things that's really awesome. Listen, before I want to talk, we have other news to talk about, and I want to do that. But before we go, you're going to hang out and do the rest of the show. Is there anything else you want to say about the documentary before we move on?
Well, I want to thank Andrews Kambadi pretty much, because I watched, Alive at 50. I thought, I like this format, because believe it or not, we both have pretty much been friends, and we inspire each other because, there are some artists or, people, friends, that make stuff and they only do is attack each other. It doesn't matter what they make, podcasts, books, doesn't matter. I dislike what I call kiss tarts. People are only angry at each other.
Kiss tarts.
Yeah, we all know them. They're pretty much they're toxic people.
Right.
And of course, I don't see Andrew as my competitor. I see someone, I can learn from him. I learned, a lot of stuff. And I thought, hey, I can use that technique. I can use that technique. When we started with, the AI enhancing of the stuff, better, Andrew asked me. I asked him again. So thank you, Andrew.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
He's an all right guy.
We love Andrew.
We love Andrew.
Yeah, and he announced also on a documentary coming this end of this year. He posted on his page. So
yeah. We're gonna get into that with him, I think, at some point. Okay, so this was a lot of fun. Hang out, okay, Jeffrey. We're gonna get into some other stuff. I wanted to. That really was kind of our topic of the week, but I have a second one. And I want to go ahead and make sure that we go ahead and get to the topic of the week.
Podcast Rock City Topic of the Week.
So right there, you can see Paul Stanley did an interview. It says, Paul Stanley says Kiss Army Storm's Vegas event will go through some major changes, confirms he and Gene Simmons will perform 15 songs. Now, this is what I wanted to point out to you. So he did an interview with Broken Record. Blabbermouth is where I found the story. It says Stanley told Broken Record about the Vegas event as transcribed by blabbermouth.net. It started off as something, honestly, that Gene and I kind of took a back seat in. And honestly, we reached a point not too far in the past where we both said, you know what? This isn't the way we want it. And it's going to go through some major changes to be what we think it should be. Okay, so now he also talked about the fact that they had worked on, Kiss cruises for, 11, or 12 years trying to make them, the way they want them. So here's the thing. We've been hearing people online and seeing people online going, hey, what's going on with this? And it's been kind of quiet. And now maybe this says why. Maybe Paul and Gene have stepped up front and have said, hey, let us be more involved, or we're going to be more involved. Sonny, you think it's we are going to be involved more, or as far as planning goes?
I hate that Paul does this. It makes, if I'm at Pop House, I'm pissed right now because it makes me look like an idiot at Pop House and I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Like, Paul could have easily said, hey, I was talking to the guys at Pop House. They really want Gene and I involved. We talked over some newer ideas, and there's some stuff coming. Not this. We're overhauling the whole thing. We don't think it's going the way we want it to. Like, what are you doing? Like, don't make your partner look bad. Why does he do that?
Right. That missed.
So I read it. I was pissed immediately. I'm like, what is he doing?
That's interesting because I didn't look at it that way, but the way you're saying it makes sense. Jeffrey, you watched the interview, right?
Yeah.
What did you think?
Well, partly it was pretty much standard Paul Stanley, what we get these days. When the Gene Cinema episode was, he managed to open him up a little bit more. But, because, Gene is hard to open, because, he actually had to make sure that he opened up, but Paul was I think it's because because after 50 years of interviews, they know what to say, they know not what to say. So
right.
It's extremely hard to get something out of these guys these days.
Yeah, the one thing that's true, Lee, I don't know if you agree with me on this. It's almost like, we constantly hear same old interviews, same old questions, same old. Now, I know that Billy Corgan did an interview with Paul, and it's 2 parts. And from my understanding, it's brand new. Somebody sent me part 1. I haven't watched it. Have you watched it, Sonny?
Have you ever seen some of this Billy Corgan stuff?
No, I'm just.
Oh my God, dude!
What?
I've not seen the Paul one, but Billy does a lot of. Billy, his interviewing style is, so Lee, tell me what happened, in 1978 on this thing. You'll start talking. Oh, well, that happened to me in 1991 and blah, and it becomes 15 minutes of him then.
About him.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy.
He's that interviewer, so I want to hear it, but I got to get past who Billy Corgan is. That's why I hate the Smashing Pumpkins to begin with. Because I'm just like,
I love
the
the
music and good Lord.
You have to remember
if
Billy
it wasn't
also a rock star.
Yeah. If it wasn't for Kiki Wong, I could give 2 shits about it, but whatever. Yeah. So
that's funny. Okay, but so here's the thing. So he did say that they're going to do probably about 15 songs together, and then the guy interviewing said acoustic, and he said no, electric. And
still no Eric Singer though.
They have not mentioned Eric Singer yet, so we're still waiting on all of that. So what I wanted to do here was, and you guys watching, you can let us know in the comment section here. Okay, I want to know if you were writing the set list for this thing, and Kiss is going to be playing. Think about this now. This is not the final show. I will tell you that on the Kiss cruise, they tend to go a little bit deeper, especially with the Sail Away show. I've seen them touch on Just a Boy, and they've done a bunch of stuff on the Sail Away show. The other ones, they tend to add maybe 2 songs in, and then they switch them. That's how I saw them perform. The Oath. That's how the first time I think they performed The Oath since Friday, I think. Don't send me dates if I'm wrong, but I think it was because the date, what is it? The
date police, yeah. The release police. The release police, yeah. The copyright police and the date police. They're all
the same person, just so you guys know.
Yeah.
It's exactly the same person. Anyway, but they performed the oath on that cruise. So if you could pick songs, now I can tell you, I gave the homework, even to Jeffrey, 5 songs you want to hear. That if you could write out the list and you could add 5 songs, what would they be? Sonny, what was your first one?
Shouldn't we do all 5 of ours?
Go ahead. Do it.
So am I going first?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm actually going to make every Kiss Homer happy. Because I really do
You're
want...
a Kiss Homer. Why don't you just admit it?
Because I really do want a kumbaya thing. And I want, whether it's 500 people there or 2,000 people there, to actually be happy. I want to actually sing along. I want everybody to just love each other like I see at like a Y&T concert when there's 200 to 500 people that know every song, that know every lick. So, in saying that, I only picked makeup songs. Because I don't want to hear no bullshit about, oh my God, they played, Into the Fire, I've had enough, and they didn't do blah, blah, blah. I don't want to hear no bullshit about that. And yes, my 5 songs are going to be very Homerish, and yes, it is what it is. So I got Ladies' Room. I want Peter to come out and do Dirty Living and Baby Driver with him together. I got Ace coming out and doing Rocket Ride and Hard Times. And then I want Come On and Love Me, and I want my favorite song, Mr. Speed. Yes, it is a very Homer 5. Yes, that means like Ace 7, and Peter has to be there. And yes, I do want this thing to go well. Because if it goes well, we'll get it again. Oh, the other 2 songs are like, they're mashups.
No, that's not, no.
Yeah, that's how I'm doing it. Too bad. That's why I went first.
All right, your math never adds up.
It never. That's funny.
But Dirty Living was amazing. The Bad Boys tour was amazing.
Yeah,
they did Dirty Living.
All right, Jeffrey, let's go to you. What are your 5 songs?
Well, first, Ladies in Waiting.
Nice,
good song.
Second is really rare, Acrobat.
Oh, Acrobat! Yeah.
Wow.
Just because you've never seen it, or you love it?
Because it's rare. It's not really good, but it's early Kiss. I think maybe during the Unplugged sessions they probably did it. In the Unplugged sessions, but Unplugged show probably. Yeah. But third, it's a song I don't think Tommy never sang, When Lightning Strikes.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
He never really had his own song. He always did Ace's songs, of course, but
I never understood why they didn't let him do his own song.
Yeah. I saw it a couple of times where he sang. Yeah, he sang Out of This World a couple of times, and I thought it was great. I don't understand.
I might have seen it. I don't remember.
Yeah. Next, number 4,
Strutter. Classic early, and then something mellow for Gene, A World Without Heroes.
Oh. Beautiful.
And I have an encore.
Parasite. What's the encore? Parasite. Yeah. Sonny, I can't believe you didn't add Parasite to your list because
my list was 15 songs. I had to cut it down to 5.
To 7.
I could add an encore.
Lee, what's your 5?
2 mashups.
I had 6. Since Tony did 7, I had 6.
No, I did 5.
No, you didn't.
But there were mashups. That's cheating.
I'm doing 6.
All right, go ahead.
Flaming Youth.
Ugh.
One of my favorites. I can't help it. Plaster Caster.
Ugh.
Shut up, Sonny.
Gene song. Oh, she gave you the finger.
King of the Nighttime World.
Oh, that's a good one.
Almost Human.
Oh my God.
I Stole Your Love, which I just love that one.
Right.
Mostly from the Detroit Rock City movie. I just love that. I've always loved that song, but I loved that it opened that movie.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite songs is Let Me Go, so I had to put that on there.
5.B.
What?
5B. That's those are good songs. Everybody's songs are good. I'm going to tell you my list. Here's my list. Come On and Love Me. Making Love. Young and Wasted.
Nice. Sweet.
If Bruce is going to get on stage, I want to hear Unholy.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say you want to hear Bruce sing. I love Bruce.
No. If
need to-
Bruce is on
Wait,
stage,
Walker.
I want to hear Unholy with
That'd be
with the
great.
band, especially if Eric is there too. And then the final song I have is Fits Like a Glove. Now, these are songs that I would love to see. That's my 5. You can send me, Sonny, you ready? You can send us your list of 5. Podcast Rock City 1.
That's the number 1. When have I not been ready?
I don't know. I just threw that in the middle of the show.
Joey does it.
At gmail.com. Podcast
I've been on the
Rock
show
City
8
1.
years. I've been ready 8 years.
Has it been 8 years?
Wow.
Just
What?
damn.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Yes, it certainly does. So, okay. So, Jeffrey, listen, before we go, first thing I want to tell you is thanks for coming on here and letting us be the one that introduced the world to Necromonium, which is really amazing. Thank you.
Yep. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. We do appreciate it. It's one of those cool things that somebody posted earlier that it was like when Kiss took their makeup off and it says Tatiana wrote it. Here it is. It feels like when Kiss came on MTV to show their real faces in '83. Exciting times.
I
love
actually
that
posted
mini-
on my Facebook that this will be my Kiss Unmask moment.
Yes. And this was a lot of fun. Is there anything you want to let people know before we go?
Well, yeah, just keep a watch out on my YouTube page or Facebook, and of course I'm constantly working on new projects. And I'm actually this is it's already known for some people, but I'm revisiting an old project of mine. It's pretty much my earliest project was called Kiss Albums Revisited. It's where I talk an album and just facts. I'm gonna remake pretty much every album in the same style I did with CADILLAC. So it's gonna be like little documentaries for every album.
Cool.
But of course, I still have to finish Kiss Through the Years.
Right, yeah. Kiss Through the Years is great. Each one with a little group of years, it's a lot of fun. If you guys haven't seen those, this is something you could take a whole day and watch videos. It's a lot of fun. Listen, thanks again for being with us. Sonny, do you have anything to add?
No, I got to say, it's, and Jeffrey said a little bit, thanks for sharing your story on that, but music, man, how it connects people from the Netherlands to Atlanta to Cincinnati, that's crazy. And
really
why
is.
anybody gives a shit about an American band outside of America, where most of America doesn't give a shit anymore, it seems like.
Well, Kiss is huge here. Kiss is huge here.
Yeah,
I Was Made to Love You was #1 here.
Yeah,
I still have the single from my father, stepfather, when he was a DJ in 1979 of I Was Made for Loving You. I still have that.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
It's crazy how American bands are
And
loved
I
abroad.
I want
just
to add,
never know it.
the power of music, like you said.
Yeah.
My mother works with people who have dementia. Sometimes they put music on and they are like back.
Pulls them out.
It's the power of music. It's so powerful. Like the power of smell. Something you smell something and it brings you back to your childhood or something.
Yeah.
Hey,
For Americans, it feels like it's part music. It's also part pop culture. Like, you would not believe, no matter where you go to a rock show, there are Maiden shirts everywhere. Right? And you ask, there's no way you could be a Maiden fan. Name one song, dude. Right? Oh, I just like the artwork. Check out this artwork. I'm like, yeah, I know it's great artwork. Right? So if it hits pop culture, seems like America kind of latches onto it. But music can be very finicky here. And I'm glad to hear that, there's parts of the world that's still latched on, which is great. I think that's awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I've seen rock music is returning a little bit.
Yeah.
Because it was, Gene has been saying for years, rock music is dead. And I actually, I agree with him because it was pushed out of mainstream, it's pushed back into what's it called? But like, you know, there are bands out now that are like perfect from the 70s, like Greta Van Fleet. You know, I love them as well. They're like if you're back in the 70s, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm glad to see that is returning.
Yeah. We'll see what else keeps coming out. Lee, do you have anything to add?
No, I mean, I totally get what you mean about put Kiss on and you feel better. That's always been one, you know, it's always made me feel better. That's why I like to have it all around me.
Absolutely.
You know, my childhood was so great with Kiss, and you know, I can't let go of it. Yep.
And you can say you're the only woman that made Gene Simmons fall on his ass on stage.
That's right. That was me.
There's still footage from it.
25 years ago.
You took footage from it?
There was a video online a long time ago, but I don't know if it's
It's all over. If you look at a Kiss fail video, it's in there.
Yeah.
And then
That's
I'm
pretty
just
awesome.
like, people forget it's me, so I'm just like, ooh.
That's pretty
Yeah,
awesome.
that
All
was
right,
me.
listen. So before we go, first of you, you guys out there, thank you for joining us tonight. We really do appreciate it. Jeffrey, your story about where you were when you started doing this, man, touching. I'm really glad that you never got too far off and you're still here on Earth with us. Thank you very much. That's really great. Not everybody is that lucky. So tell everybody if you're feeling down, put on a Kiss record. I'm just saying.
Just don't start with Carnival.
Just don't start with Carnival. That's terrible. All right, listen. Before I go, I want to make sure I tell everybody. Of course, we don't have a show this Sunday because it's Father's Day, and everybody out there that's a dad, this is our day. Let's celebrate by having nobody tell us how great we are, because I'm just kidding.
Call your father.
Yeah, call your dad if you can call your dad. And, that's your day. Make sure you listen to the music you want to listen to, eat the shit you want to eat, and watch the stuff you want to watch. And start with Kiss in Cadillac, because I promise you, it's a great Father's Day watch. You know what I'm going to say. We love Kiss, and we love Kiss podcasts. And you're going to hear the commercials for all the ones that we love right after this. In 3, 2, 1, peace.